Hi, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to our collective reading. Take what works, leave what doesn't. And any interaction with the channel is fabulous. Interactions with other comments, likes, subscribes, comments, shares, all really awesome. I appreciate it. All right, well, starting off with Moonology, I think. Trying to. Well, we got this one flipping around. Luck is on your side, new moon in Sagittarius. I'm going to say that this one definitely feels like you don't know. You don't know. There could be unseen luck, which is still lucky. Like you don't know what you missed. You don't know. You don't know how lucky you are in a certain situation. So, going into some sort of unknown, just understand that something in that situation is very lucky for you and you may actually never see it. It's one of those like the car that missed you, the bus that never hit you kind of luck. That's what it feels very strongly to me. Hopefully you know about it because then you can be grateful. Balance spirituality and practicality, full moon in Pisces, and then full moon in Leo, don't let pride get in your way. This one always has like some sort of shame element to it. Don't let shame get in your way either. Don't be too proud to ask for help. Don't, and spirituality and practicality. So meditation, paying attention to your dreams, a little bit of both. You're going to have to be both very realistic and very dreamy in order to function here, in order to get the movement here. And don't be... Yeah, don't let pride get in your way. This one's always really interesting to me. I'm actually going to pull out the book on that one. I don't know, why not? Why not? I think that's actually kind of a little bit of what we're talking about. Go ahead and pull out the book on one of them. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to pretend to know everything or put yourself in a position where you're supposed to know everything. Go ahead and look it up. Don't let pride get in the way. I've been using this deck for 10 years. like what does that mean anyway? Be magnificent without being plain too much. Self-esteem is good, vanity is not. Everyone is equally important. I like that one too. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. The ego versus the heart. Ooh, wanting to be right rather than wanting to, move something forward. Wanting to be proven right rather than wanting something to flow with the will of the universe. There's so much flow in the Pisces one too. What do we have here? We have one flipping around. Day and night. A new beginning, but it's difficult to grasp. It's in your hand, but there's the past. There's the past warning you a bit. There's some sort of deep history here. The past, still struggling to let go of something or to realize a new dawn and a new day. Not quite a clear, nice, crisp beginning. There's a mixture. It's not dusk, it's dawn. But it isn't really clear, but it's also not exactly totally unclear. You're not totally in the dark. You're not totally in the light. There's some vagueness here, but there's also this sense of like, not quite, there might be a feeling here of having learned something in the past and not wanting to play the fool again. And yet at the same time, it's a new day. your vision is clouded by a past experience which may not apply anymore. And I can really see the Leo card being part of that, as far as like, you know, that whole saying, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. And sometimes we don't take another chance, or we don't, because that happened back there. So we would feel stupid if we were taken advantage of again, even if it is a different person, even if it is a different situation. There could be that sense of, right? And our past is such a, it's an experience. We had it. We have to learn from it. But we're having difficulty being optimistic because it's still lingering around. So it's almost like luck is on your side. You do have this new, and this almost looks like this Leo moon right here, right? That orange, amber, embracing that new day. And yet somehow the memories of yesterday are clinging here. Not quite able to let that go. There could be good reasons for that. There are good reasons for that. You know, we have memories for a reason. They're supposed to learn from them. But then there's that sense of like, how do you know when something's not going to be repeated? And so I think that that's where you're at, is like not wanting to play the fool, but not wanting to embrace a new beginning, but also not wanting to repeat the past. We have butterfly garden. You're changing. Your mind is changing. Yeah. I mean, you're like in the middle of this process here of changing, of being able to sort of embrace new beginnings, something new. You're transforming, but this has to do with your mind. This could actually also have to do with sexuality in some way, but your mind is changing. And this is the observer card, watching your mind, maybe having to sort through the past versus the present, watching your mind sort of engage with the dualities of life, and the yeses and the nos, and the yes buts and the no buts, and all of that. And so there's this observation, and as you observe your mind, it's going to change. So it's reminding me of like meditation, which we already have here, this duality, this practicality and spirituality. And you know, as you're meditating, you know, there are certain ones where you can just notice how your back feels, notice how your neck feels. And then the meditation isn't asking you to change anything, it's just asking you to notice. But that very act of noticing, you'll suddenly adjust. You'll suddenly notice your jaw. Oh, wow, that is tight. And you might not be able to relax it the whole way, but then you'll just kind of drop it a little bit because you realize it's tight and it's not what you want. So you're not working super hard at it. It's just this act of noticing is actually very powerful. And I think that that's what's happening here, is you're noticing your thoughts about the past, your thoughts about the future, you're noticing something. And so instead of dropping this is just receding very naturally. This darkness that you've come from is receding very naturally, but you're watching it do that. You're noticing your thoughts. You're noticing this transition, this second by second transition from night to day, this dawn. So it almost seems like something is dawning on you, but I feel like it's very slowly and very gently. It's very slow and gentle. And the only effort required of you here is, I think, to notice, and then the action will kind of arise all by itself as you notice your thoughts. It is a spirituality and practicality. It is this sort of meditating, watching your thoughts. You know, sometimes when we meditate, the first thing we realize is how little control we actually seem to have over our own thoughts. We can't stop them. They're coming and they're flooding us. And it's kind of quite the realization to realize that you're not necessarily fully in control of your own thoughts, of your own mind. You can't stop them. You can try to direct them, but it's like herding cats, you know? So that's a little bit of what this is just watch them. And the natural motions will arise. The natural reaction will arise all by itself. We have Lorelei here, which looks like to me is going to be back here, but could be something present too, but it's most likely something back here. Lorelei is childish, emotional, and disruptive. Lorelei may not realize how disruptive she is. She's just playing here. And I don't know if you can see in this. Let's see if we can, I don't know. How did it do this on this side? Okay, we have all these little men in this boat, right? And they're like out fishing, actually trying to make a living, actually trying to like bring some fish back, want to eat, want to sell some stuff. And Lorelei's like, oh, here, let me just unanchor all of this. I'm just going to uproot it just for fun, just for kicks. So this is someone who maybe doesn't realize the seriousness of what they're doing or saying and how it's affecting other people. It's having a very profound effect on other people. And for them, maybe it was just, you know, a comment or just, oh, well, we'll just do this. We'll just fix this oh, there's a problem. We'll just fix it like this, not realizing what a profound effect it's having on other people. And we're all in this position sometimes where we're just doing our thing, you know, and we all accidentally say something or do something that really creates a lot of upheaval for other people for serious things. So like this is a very unserious person right here. They're immature, they're childish, they're not really aware of the effect that they have on other people. You know, I always think of her as just playing in the pond till her mom calls her in for snacks, you know, and so she's just goofing around. And she doesn't even seem to have realized how she's upended everything, up-anchored everything. This ungrounded energy has been created here, and I think that this is having an effect on you. And if you are the one that has created this ungrounded energy through, I don't think it's ever malicious. This card rarely has the feeling of maliciousness to it. So then don't be too proud to apologize for the upheaval you created, for, you know, the upheaval you created. You may be afraid that something is about to repeat itself. So just observe more. Don't jump to conclusions. Definitely be observing changes and transformations. So, but I would not, with these cards out here, do not think that something is going to repeat itself. So there's no cause for any certainty. There's no cause for any certainty is basically what I'm seeing here. There's no cause for certainty, whether that's negative or positive. There's no reason to be certain about anything here so far, except luck is on your side. So yeah, and this, don't let pride get in your way. Don't be so sure you know everything about a situation. All right, and then our storytellers are here, the crows. Mischief, oh hell yeah, look at that. With Lorelei, that mischief. Oh my gosh. Battle. Great. Perfect. We were just playing around. And it almost seems though that the ones that were just playing around and creating all this upheaval, just doing my job, just playing around, creating upheaval here. There's like I feel like a battle actually ensues out of what was meant to just be for fun. There's actually like a brawl that breaks out here. Something was just kind of said offhand, not a big deal. We're just teasing. We're just having fun. We're just teasing. It's not a big deal. And then there's actually something quite serious that happens out of this. This isn't, there's something quite serious that happens out. So this little playful gesture, mischief, just some kids getting into some trouble here. No big thing. She's just playing around. This actually starts something. This isn't fun for somebody. This isn't fun anymore. Whew. Wow. What the battle. And then this one to me almost looks like this could be online, because all these people are online and they're all observing. There is a huge number of people observing this little kerfuffle here. So, you know, quite literally, there's 3 in this one, and then there's 2 in this one. It's like this mischief. I just have this strong feeling that 2 of the people involved in mischief end up fighting each other. They're trying to like tease this cat and get it to react or something. They're intent, and then what happens though, I think, is that this like playful, we're just teasing kind of thing, and then 2 of the people just teasing actually end up at each other's throats, and there's a battle and a brawl. That's my first blush of like what this feels like, is that the mischief turns serious, or did turn serious. That could be what it is, because I'm definitely getting this day and night thing, this darkness back here. It could be that some mischief actually did turn quite serious. Because you can't fuck around with people's like livelihoods for fun. You can't, you know, it's like how people pay their bills and keep a roof over their head and keep food in their stomachs and feed their children. Like, you can't just goof around like with that stuff without really instigating something. So it's like, well, we're just teasing, we're just playing around, or it was just kind of a little, you know, you just, I don't know, your boss wants a bonus or something, so they kind of cut corners over here, and it actually turns into quite a serious thing. It's not a game for somebody here. I mean, if you find yourself in a battle, it just seems like luck is like the secret element throughout all of this. Like, if you found yourself like, oh yeah, there's just some mischief, just some whatever, and then it turns into like a real thing. There's just some sort of, that's really funny. I just dropped it and then on accident and then caught it. And now I'm like really fascinated by this process. There's some, the whole thing underlying all of this is that there is some luck. There is some luck. And don't think you know what's all going on here. Yeah. All right. And then I've got this like smaller deck. It's not my tiny deck. What is it? White Sage Tarot. It's just like a small portable deck. And we're going to move to the tarot. Underlying 8 of Wands, communication, conversations. But look at this 8 of Wands is really different. Oh, it's the same sort of amber. I want to say it's somewhere between, it's like between your solar, it's like has to do with your solar plexus and your sacral chakra. So it's about creation and a sense of self in the world. And what's really interesting about this 8 of Wands is there's a bunch of cross purposes here and tied up knots. This communication is not very clear. Normally 8 of Wands to me comes through. It's very clear communication. We've got initiative, spring, but there's this weaving together of communication into some sort of boundary. It feels like communication about boundaries, about who you are, what you're going to put up with, or about who somebody is in the situation. And I had this neighbor, I tried to do it, but I failed at it, but who, like, willows grow, these are pussy willows. Willows grow very fast, and you can just, most of them, you can just cut it, put it in the dirt, it roots itself. I always used rooting compound to get it to go, and I did a lot of it, but I wasn't able to accomplish the fence. I wanted to make fences, but my neighbor was able to accomplish willow fences woven together. So that's what I'm seeing, is this boundary, and it has to do with like who you are. It has to do with creativity and expression. So this is the past. This is underlying communication about boundaries, about yeah. It may have been a one conversation too, a fast-moving conversation about boundaries and expectations. Past, present, inner landscape, what's at issue, environment, to-do list, possible outcome. In the recent past, we have 4 of Swords. Rest, taking a break. Again, we have the sacral chakra. This one's very sacral, like creative power, but it's taking a break. It's like the Four of Swords is being sick, having to be out sick, having to take a break from something, having done battle, right? The Four of Swords is usually, and we have the swords here, is usually about someone who went to battle and then returned. And this is the rest and recuperation from the battle. So rest. Something's been either on a break or resting, recovering. It could have been illness. It could have been just having to take a leave of absence. It could be, a break has been had here. A break from a relationship. I'm not getting very clear. We've got Wands, Swords, Cups. So emotional communication, maybe a break from communication, maybe someone you haven't heard from in a while, a boundary had to be set here, and then so there was a pause. Like oftentimes when we set a boundary with someone, they might be like, okay, well, you just don't want anything to do with me, and that's not it. It's just that, but then they just interpret it as much broader than we meant it, or something like that. So oftentimes there has to be a break after a boundary is set, just so that people can kind of recalibrate. And the Four of Swords is a recalibration during the break of like starting to understand, like, okay, this is where we're at now, and so there's a break and there's recalibration. Five of Cups, regrets. So maybe you regret something or somebody regrets something. It's the broken cups, the emotional response, kind of a bit of a sad emotional response. Yeah, there's sadness, regret, wishing something had gone differently. So there's been a time, wow, the Four of Swords to the Five of Cups, there's like, maybe you haven't spoken to someone for a while and you're sad about that. Or maybe they haven't spoken to you and that's making you sad. You feel you miss them. There might be missing something. Maybe you took a break from battle or from, break from something, and you're really missing it and you sort of regret taking that break. Maybe you got out of practice a little bit. The break maybe was involuntary too. With the Four of Swords, an involuntary break, but a break was had, and it's unfortunate. This break was, oftentimes it's great to take a break from things, but it feels unfortunate. But again, remember, we've got this luck on your side underlying. I feel like it's an unseen force throughout all of this that must be taken into consideration. So a break, and then there are regrets. There's some sadness, losses, perhaps financial losses during the break. Yeah, there's regrets here, sadness. Maybe even a sense that you're not who you thought you were, or this situation isn't what you thought it was. It has to do with your sense of self, having been sort of cracked and shaken either by your own behavior or by someone else's behavior. And then we have the Hierophant here, and your hopes, your dreams, your inner landscape. The key, that's really interesting. The key, dreaming. The Hierophant's typically the teacher, the Taurus, maybe you're wanting to be a teacher, or you're wanting leadership, you're dreaming of, well, this one, especially in your hopes and your fears and your inner landscape, this dreaming deer, dreaming of this key, dreaming of being able to open something up, dreaming of an opportunity in an organization perhaps, or to teach, wanting to be able to teach something, or wanting a teacher. The Hierophant, your hopes, your fears, your inner landscape. The Hierophant is about structure, is about historical structures, institutions, teachers, religious institutions, perhaps a religious figure of some kind. It's very official. It's an official figure, someone, perhaps a person who's gone through all sorts of steps and all of the different steps. What's interesting here is the key to the opportunity. But the key, the forest needs no key, at least it shouldn't. The forest needs no key, right? It's only buildings and institutions that require keys to access them. So I feel like you're dreaming or you're hoping for access to a new opportunity, possibly within a larger organization, an official opportunity, an official position, an official situation. It could even be like a relationship that you would like to be official. The Hierophant can talk about marriage and contracts and agreements, but it's all the institution. So maybe you're thinking about an institution. Maybe you're worried about, this Five of Cups could be poor mental health. Maybe you're worried about or hopeful to get into an institution. But it's so strange to see the Hierophant in your inner landscape, because that's more of an external thing. So maybe that's a hope. Putting your hope in some sort of institution, perhaps. What's at issue here is Nine of Cups reverse. So dissatisfaction. Again, we have dissatisfaction with yourself. Maybe you took a break from something and you're not happy about it. You're not happy with where you're at right now. You may not feel happy or proud, or somebody is not feeling proud of themselves right now, not feeling proud of who they are right now. And maybe you're not proud of who you are. That's what's interesting, is don't let pride get in the way. And this card can have something to do with shame as well, because the Nine of Cups in the upright is typically someone that wants to show off their emotional health and wellness. And this could be shame and embarrassment about not feeling emotionally well and about not feeling good about yourself. Maybe you had to take a break from something and you're feeling very embarrassed about needing that break and needing that time away or that time off. You're not particularly proud of something. Or there's somebody here that isn't. Yeah, again with this institution, maybe it has to do with going to a doctor or going to a psychologist or something like that. Like, you're just somebody here. And I'm not sure it's you or what here. Who is this? Who is this? Who isn't? Somebody's not proud of what they've done, of who they are, of they don't feel well. They don't feel emotionally healthy. Maybe drained, maybe depressed, and they're not particularly stoked about it. They're not like, hey, look at me, I'm not feeling good. It's just these regrets and this and just not feeling proud of what you did or what you said or of who you are. You're not where you want to be, or somebody here is not where they want to be emotionally. In your environment, there's justice. Some sort of decision is being made. Perhaps it's this institution that you're thinking about. Wrongs are being righted. Oh, the heart and the feather, right? What is it? In the Egyptian mythology or the ancient Egyptian belief system, we have that weighing of the heart and the feather, and whichever, if the heart weighs more, if you're carrying more of this guilt and regret on your heart, so if the feather, I think your heart has to be lighter than a feather in order for you to get into the, good afterlife. Something like that. That's like my crude interpretation, having not read anything about it for a couple of years. But But that weighing of the heart and motivations and there's these regrets, this shame, and this having to account for something that weighs on your heart. No, it's not you. It's external to you. There's some sort of I'm sorry, I'm looking ahead. And which is rude of me, I know. So justice is external. It's like some sort of reality that's happening. Maybe a decision is being handed down. Somebody's getting their comeuppance. There's just this coming back around. This karma is coming back around. And like, I hope that, I don't know, this 5 of Cups, this regret, this 9 of Cups reverse, also regret and shame, and, you know, someone being called out on the carpet for their behavior or for something that's going on. So if you're feeling heavy about something, the scales of justice are being weighed and accounted for, and decisions are being made. The decisions are being made about fairness and justice. Your to-do list, this is fascinating. This is what, and Queen of Swords. And what I heard when I saw this next to justice was like sort of, and another thing, and don't forget what else you did. Like, say it. If you have a complaint, you need to report it to somebody. Like, if there was a violation of a boundary or something, report it. Don't be shy about speaking up. And I also love it here because we have the lion and we have the lioness, and she's got her truth. You have truth, and it's super important. So there is maybe a form you can fill out or some sort of way to seek justice. It does exist in the world. However, sometimes it does not feel like it does. It does exist in the world, and you need to use your words. I think we got that at the end of the last one. You need to use your words, because I also, with this mischief here, it actually wasn't just mischief. It was, whoever did this mischief should be ashamed. Maybe they were just playing around. I don't know. You know, because subconsciously a lot of other shit can be going on inside our heads. So subconsciously, you know, we can just say, oh no, I was just playing. But really wasn't. That's what I'm seeing here with this mischief and this battle card. Like, someone was like, just kind of, they were just saying, they were just whatever, and they were not. They were not. And I think you need to call something out. Justice exists. And maybe you did. I think you need to speak up. I think you need to say something directly. Don't couch it in all these terms and whatever. It just, no metaphors, no tiptoeing around the tulips, no pussyfooting around, which is funny because we've got 2 cats here. So no pussyfooting around. You have some truth. You have something to say. This says you need to say it, and say it very clearly, unequivocally. You don't need to sit there and be like, oh, but maybe, but perhaps, but maybe. And I think perhaps you are going to battle with your sharpened sword. You haven't been in battle. You've taken a break from battle. But I feel really like strong like that. Take out that sword and fuck some shit up. This is, speak up. Speak up now, or forever hold your peace. Oh, I don't know if that's the word, but you know, just, you need to speak up, especially if you're thinking about an institution. Maybe you had an experience with some sort of institution. It could be like a university, a hospital, something. You need to speak up, because whatever was going on there was actually really not good. And they can pass it off as mischief. Don't be too embarrassed to speak up. Don't say, hey, my feelings were hurt, because that can be embarrassing to be like, I do have feelings. They do get hurt. They're not made of steel, right? And to be like, my feelings were hurt, and I was really upset by what you did. This is not a minor thing to say. Don't be too embarrassed about having feelings that are actually hurt and are hurtable. Say what you need to say. This is very direct, very bitchy energy. I love it. I mean, sometimes it's what's called for. You can't just be passive and kind and nice forever with everybody, you know. Sometimes you do have to stand up for yourself, and sometimes, you know, the world's full of such a variety of people, so some people need to like stand down a little bit sometimes so that we can take you seriously when it's time for the one thing, and other people need to speak up a little more, say something. So I don't know where you come out on the spectrum, but you're definitely being encouraged and allowed to speak your truth. You're not in charge of having all the truth of everybody all the time and exactly what happened, but you can tell from your perspective what happened and what did that. And I think there's some justice that can come in here. What's happening in the end? Empress. You're going to be very proud of yourself in the end. You're going to be happy. Yeah, there's a lot of disappointment and regret here, perhaps with an institution, but I think at the end of the day, you're going to be sitting pretty, and you're going to feel pretty good about it. And I think that that is going to be justified. Yeah, I think watching your thoughts, maybe you're going from this like heartbroken energy to warrior energy. Maybe you're changing something. Yeah, I love this Empress at the end. You've got what it takes. You've got what you need. Yeah, you're going to be okay. You're going to have what you need. You go from queen to empress. You level up here. And you're quite proud of yourself and of where this ends up. Yeah, the Queen of Swords, she's a warrior queen. She's out there. She's Joan of Arc. She's out there with the, I mean, she wasn't a queen. She was like a peasant girl that had a vision. But like, you're the warrior queen. You're out there fighting the battle at the front lines with the troops. You're not, you know, just hiding away in the castle. This is you entering the fray. This is you, the warrior queen. Do battle. Enter the fray. Do not you sit down and shut up right now. That's not allowed right now. The Empress, you're going to be really happy. You're going to get what you need. If you have unmet needs, you're going to get what you need. There is justice in the world. That's there. You can access justice. There is justice available. All right, let's move on. Oh, all right. We're going to go to auspicious omens. All right. Pull from the center of the deck. Cicada. Personal change is on the horizon. Yes, that's what we had from the beginning. Listen to Cicada for messages along the way. This can also be just if a song comes up when you are asking a question, just really listening for those, I forget what they're called, but they're like these little auditory sort of magical moments when you're like, I wonder what I should do. And then the song comes on, or some passerby says something to their friend, which is exactly what you needed to hear. So the cicada sounds to me like it's natural. It's in your environment, and you just need to tune in, and there will be a message waiting for you at just the right time. I love how this has the cicada like glowing green. Like I'm pretty sure. Normally I have these out and prep, so I don't really know what happened here at the end, but here we are. Oh, well, you wanted to fall out of the pack, huh? Well, I'll take you. All right. Lizard spirit, dream the world into being. Oh my gosh, there's 3 of them. Dream the world into being. What is the outcome that you want here? What is your ideal situation? What would this have gone like ideally? Yeah, and if you're the one that needs to apologize, don't be shy about that either. So, eagle spirit. Spirit has your back. For some reason, this reminds me of the Justice card, although I do not know why at this point in time the eagle would remind me of that. But Spirit has your back. I do feel very strongly about this. Luck is on your side. Spirit has your back, and justice exists in the world, and it can be accessed. So Spirit has your back, and Flamingo Spirit embrace the in-between. So justice can take a while. Things can take a minute. So it's interesting because Flamingo shows up in a couple different decks, and it almost seems to have very different meanings, except almost the same. Like embrace the in-between, because the flamingo is of the sky and of the water, of emotion and of thought. Oh, balance spirituality and practicality. Embrace the in-between, the duality of something, right? The duality of something, embracing either or, embracing walking in two worlds. And I also feel like it's embracing the transition between, the transition time, the changing time between this and that, neither here nor there. As things get balanced out, there is a time that it will take. Try to remain satisfied during that time. Allow for the uncertainty and allow the changes to take the time they need to take. So embracing the in-between, and these are, say of all of these, Spirit has your back is like the mantra for this week. Spirit has your back. You may feel very alone when you speak up, but there are greater forces in the background, in the world around you. That's what I'm seeing here. All right. I hope that was helpful. Thanks for joining me here. Talk to you guys later. Bye.